Hey everybody, SoulMama Says is getting ready to get started. Hello everybody out there in podcast land. With me today on SoulMama Says, we're going to get started right away. It's Mr. Hannah John Taylor. Hello.
Hey, SoulMama.
Hey, you like that?
I kind of like that.
You kind of like that? Here, let's get that a little bit closer.
SoulMama.
You know who called me that the first time?
I bet it was Clyde.
Yes, it was. It was most certainly Clyde. He called me. He would say, "Coming to the stage, Southern Wisconsin, SoulMama." The first thing he called me was Southern Wisconsin's Queen of Soul.
Queen of Soul.
Yeah, and I was like, no, Queen of Soul. That rank is already taken by the great Miss Aretha Franklin, and that's not me. So SoulMama works for me. That works for me. Yeah. So this is SoulMama Says, where we talk about all kinds of stuff. Music, politics, whatnot. And for this first segment, I would love to talk to you about Cafe Coda. Tell the people in Madison and the world, because we have a global audience.
Yeah.
We do. There are people in England listening right now, I can tell you. I'm watching. Hello.
I'd like to say hello to all my friends in Manchester.
Hello.
In London and in Paris.
Yes. And
in Chicago and on the east side of Madison.
Good morning for those of you on the east side. You're just waking up. Tell the people about what is Cafe Coda?
Cafe Coda has evolved from being a concept, almost a state of mind, to actually a place that at this point is located at 113 West Dayton.
Mm-hmm. The former location of the fountain.
The former location is actually Cafe Coda
at the fountain. Okay.
Because the liquor license.
Aha.
Anyway.
Yes.
It's Cafe Coda is hopefully going to be a place where traditional, contemporary, and creative music, art forms are presented by local, regional, and world-class artists. And the reason that we think that there might be a distinction in our environment from that of any other music scene in Madison is because it's set up first and foremost, not that it only has to be this, but first and foremost as a listening room with a suitable stage, a tuned concert grand piano.
That is important. Tuned is very important, especially with the weather we have here.
Nice set of brand new, state-of-the-art Gretsch Carolynn drums.
I was reading about that.
Nice string bass, decent PA, and seating for 70 to 75 people. With a green room, with respect to the prep process of artistry.
For those who don't know, a green room could be any color, but a place, a dressing room, a place for the musicians and artists to prepare themselves before and after a gig.
Actually, this room is kind of red.
Okay, cool.
But when you think about the combination of all of those things, in comparison, I don't think there's any other small, intimate listening space in Madison that fits all of that criteria. And for that reason, we miss out on contracts from artists who readily, need, accept, and are accustomed, to that.
Yeah. So tell me a little about what's the difference between a listening room and just a place to go hear music.
Well, in a listening room, there are most of the chairs are facing the stage.
Okay, that's important.
And the whole the whole objective of sonority is a priority, you know, in the room. So at the time of performances, there are no exotic mixed machine drinks going on, as well as, you know, there are no
cappuccino makers or anything like that. No.
There's no television.
That's very important.
Ping pong table, you know, dartboard.
So we're talking about a place to go and listen to music, as opposed to, and this is very important, as opposed to a bar where there happens to be live music, which there's a lot of. There are plenty of places you can go and catch some live music, but the emphasis is not put on the live music. There's always a TV on somewhere else, and that's really distracting as a performer and as a listener. It's a drag, yeah. You know, if you want to watch, my thing is, if you want to watch TV, there are so many other places to go and watch TV. When there's live music happening, those TVs should be off. And that's a club owner thing. You know, that's also a musician thing. They should demand that if they're playing, turn those TVs off.
Well, I remember when the concourse was going through its transition, you know, there actually was jazz there. And I think
the New Breed Jazz Jam was there for a while, a long time ago.
Well, I think actually I was one of the last people to perform there, because I insisted that they turn the televisions off when I was playing.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy behind the bar saying, "Well, you know, okay, we'll do it this time, but we'll never play here again."
Really?
Yeah, and I never played there again. And then I think shortly after that they cut it off. They just cut
They just stopped doing live music.
They just stopped doing it. So
it's such a shame, because when people go out to hear music, they want to hear the music. You know, if you pay money to go see a band, the importance should be on the band. The focus should be on the band.
Well, I think there's room enough for everything, you know. But we just, you know, in a diverse community, you can't exclude what we're talking about. You know, there's enough room, you know, like you say, for everybody to do whatever they want to do. And I think people, in terms of paying, I think people are willing to pay for anything that they really like. But if you have nothing there, you know, to like, then, you know, a lot of times you don't know that you might like it, you know. So it's like a fine wine. Listening is an acquired taste. Sometimes.
It is.
In this world, you know, when everything is so many sounds. I mean, I think eventually we're gonna develop these villages. I think maybe it's happening right now. These cyber-free villages.
That sounds nice.
Where, you know, you can't bring a phone. You know, nothing. You know, I mean, no automatic dog whistles. None of that. You know, being there and watching the crib. Nothing. You know. And I think that we're going to get into that. And so maybe this is just an alternative to the other listening experience.
It's a gateway. Yeah, so I have two boys, and they are accustomed to lots of sounds being on all the time. And when all of a sudden it's quiet in my house, it's kind of shocking. It's kind of like, wait a minute, they're engaging. They're actually doing something and not just having all these different things on at once. And that's so important for a listening room, especially for jazz.
Well, I think it's important for musicians also to understand the value of space. You know, one thing that Miles taught us was, you know, the use of space in music, and how vitally important it is in composition as well as improvisation.
Oh, absolutely.
The whole idea of, you know, using that space, you know, to actually convey an idea, and not thinking that you have to be playing something in order
all the time. And you can't get that as much in a room that isn't quiet, right?
Well, yeah.
Is that me or is that you?
We'll see. I don't know.
Somebody's dinging. I think, if you're playing in a room that's noisy, then those pauses, those spaces aren't going to come through, so to speak. You know, you're not going to get that effect. You're not going to get that same kind of dynamic. Whereas if you've got a nice, quiet room that is meant for listening, you're going to get all that nuance.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, if you will, you know, who we're going to get to do that and what our resources are for that immediately.
Yes, please.
You know, and I tell you, we hope this place will be a place that offers other types of experiences than those that we are accustomed to in the local arena.
Okay, such as?
Well, for instance, the whole idea of the traditional jam session is something that I think must be acknowledged.
Okay.
But a jam session that is void of fake books.
So I read a little bit about that. You talked about this. So a jam set. You talking about like specifically a jazz jam?
Well, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but I'm saying a session that is void of fake books, and you know, it's not that I have anything against fake books. I have plenty.
So do I. They are necessary.
But the spirit of the music is more important than the notes on the page.
Yes, agreed.
And this is what a lot of young people have to really learn to realize if they are ever going to be a part of this jazz experience.
It's not just the technical prowess you can display. There's so much more to it, right?
Well, yeah, and I mean, you know, unless they have that experience, then you know, and unless that experience is being encouraged, especially in an academic community, you know, it's hard to convince a lot of young players that that's really necessary. You know, and so.
You mean improvisation?
I mean, the ability to speak through the instrument,
as opposed to just play.
and as opposed to just play.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So it's something that you have to set up. You know, I mean, you can talk about it. You know, and that's the thing. You know, we give a lot of significant lip service to this whole thing of improvisation. But I mean, how many of us are really willing to utilize music, and I put it like that, as a language. That's maybe the problem with the way people teach music in Western society. It's more like a science, and in the East, it's more like a language.
Okay. Can you explain the difference?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I can explain the difference.
Okay.
When I learned to speak, it was long before I learned to read.
Yes,
Okay?
absolutely.
So if I had to wait to read in order to speak,
forget it.
I'd be like a lost ball in a high weed in terms of being able to communicate with people. And if I depended upon that, as many musicians, young musicians, seem to want to do in the jazz idiom. Now they can rock and roll their asses off without playing, without reading anything. When it comes to jazz, here come these damn fake books.
Right, they want to read the chords and know exactly what they're supposed to be playing.
I don't understand that, you know. And you know, I mean, if you were really a student of the blues and a student, you know, of rock and roll, then you know that the first thing that is required in order to participate in that in those genres is being able to listen.
Yes.
And understand form.
Form is so important.
Form is important. So, I mean, what?
Oh, we got 1 minute left? Oh, wow.
1 minute left.
Yeah, well, we could keep going after the minute comes back.
I was just warming up.
Oh, well,
man.
we could come right back.
Are
Don't
you
worry.
kidding me?
No, we got
1 minute. What the hell you all talking about?
Hanaka talk for hours
Listen
about
here, I didn't come here to talk for no 15 minutes.
No,
You
you're
better
going to come back.
You better turn the record over.
We have to take a break, and then we're going to come back. And we're going to talk more about this, because this is fascinating. I spent some time with you last summer talking about this very thing with some teenagers.
1 minute.
About jazz and improvisation and all that stuff. And I found it amazing. And so we're going to come back and talk more with Hannah John Taylor at MadisonTalkers.com. If you want to talk to Hannah John Taylor, give us a call at 608-210-1667.
I hope you don't have 1 minute to do it.
That went fast. You need to come every week and just talk about music. Hey, how's it going, Gabe?
Hey, Gabriel, what's happening, man?
Are you going to do a live read?
Hmm?
Do you have a live read for
No, I don't. My mom sent a sponsorship check, but I don't have to read anything for her. I'm trying to get sponsors for all this. This will be a good one to secure sponsors with.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
Yeah. I'm glad too. This is great.
So this is a commercial we took?
It's like yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's my sister. Hey, Lisa. I love you and I'm proud of you too. Music is the language of the heart. John Woodburn. Yes, it is. Absolutely. See, this is cool. We're on Facebook Live too.
Well,
So there's people watching.
Live.
Yeah, there's people watching on Facebook. There's 2 people watching actually right now. See? 2.
I don't see nobody.
What?
All I see is me and you.
Well, yeah, but there's also my sister. There's my sister.
Your
She
sister.
wrote. And who else?
What's
John
your
Woodburn.
sister's name?
Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, what's happening?
Hey, Lisa. She's
Well-
watching. Amy Pierce. A bunch of people. Let's see.
A bunch of people are watching.
Or we're watching.
We're watching.
They can always watch it after it's all done. Hey, C. Yeah. Jazz shows. Okay, 30 seconds. Oh, she said hi back. Okay. Hey there. It's SoulMama back here with Hannah John Taylor, local musician.
Watch it.
What?
Local stuff.
So, that's right. Okay, I'm sorry. World-renowned
Rewind.
musician
Rewind.
Hannah John Taylor, and my good friend and knowledgeable of so many things. And I actually had the great pleasure of working with you last summer. Saturdays, what do we call it?
It was a lot of fun. It was called Saturdays at the Goodman Theater.
Saturday at the Goodman Center. It was working with these teenagers.
I was thinking about that just before I came over.
Yeah.
About how I used to pick you up.
Uh-huh.
And we used to go get all the accoutrements.
Accoutrements,
that
yep.
we needed.
To go play
To go through the day.
to go through the day and just work with these kids and introduce them to these jazz forms. And one of the things that you had talked about, and these kids were dedicated. This was Saturday mornings in the summer, 8:30 in the morning. They would have breakfast for them so that they had no excuse, right? These were like 11-year-olds up to 16 or 17.
Some of them looked like they was about 26.
Some of them looked like they were 8. So yeah, I think it goes both ways. But they were really dedicated, that they were there,
Yeah,
spending
they were
their
cool
time
kids.
to learn about jazz. And one of the things that I took away from it, because I learned something every time that I was there also, because
Me too.
I'm a kid, yeah.
Me too, we all do.
Is that, like, one of the things you impressed upon it is, in order to improvise, first you have to internalize, right? You have to memorize and internalize, and then once you are, like, comfortable with the form and where it's going, where the song is going.
Well, we can talk about that.
Well, for me anyway, that's how I process it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm learning a new song, for example, like a particular standard, I always go to the classics first. I look to the standards, the standard bearers of that standard, to listen to the melody and learn the form. And for me, I try and almost emulate what they're doing,
Well,
like what
yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald, so that I can know how it goes. And then once I'm comfortable with it, then I can relax a little bit and speak through it with my own interpretation of it.
Okay, well,
How does that
the
work?
the third thing
Mm-hmm.
is internalization.
Yes.
And that's kind of like what I try to impress upon young players.
Mm-hmm.
And internalization has to do with what the song is about, why the song is about.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Not just the chords, but the lyrics, the feeling.
No, not just the form. I mean, what am I singing about?
Mm-hmm.
And from what vantage point, am I singing? Or, and so when you have a piece, let's take a piece that is really, really popular in jazz, My Favorite Things by John Coltrane. I mean, I don't know any horn player worth his salt that hasn't, listened to that tune
over
and over again and try
and
to
played along. Yeah.
emulate, as you say,
Mhm.
but to internalize what that is about and, what the words are. I mean, if you're going to use music, if you can utilize music as a language,
Yes.
then you can apply language and the emotion of language to it. So, you dig? So, I mean,
Everybody got that?
right.
Everybody got that?
So, if I'm talking about, if I know what the song, if I listen to the words of the song about what these favorite things are, then that's got to carry over with the instrumental delivery.
Yes.
And that's being in tune with, with the composition. Now, somebody's going to come out and say, man, that don't sound like it did on the record.
No.
It's not supposed to.
No, it's not.
The idea is to extend from in all respect, emulation, to extend from that and carry over, into what might be a more contemporary idea.
Or however you interpret. I mean, what's on the record. Even John Coltrane probably never ever played it again exactly that same way, the way he recorded it on the record, because that would be weird, right? That would be really weird for anyone to do it exactly the same way, unless you're a Broadway musician or performer.
So how do you explain cats who call themselves jazz musicians,
right,
who want to play just like
the record,
the cats who played, the iconic heroes? How do you explain that?
I can't.
Well, they're two different schools. I think
it's two different. Okay, let's hear it.
There's two different schools.
Yeah.
There is that school,
right,
and there's the school I'm talking about,
which is way more fun.
Well, it does,
way more interesting.
It's less. It's like, I think Herbie Hancock described it as playing tennis without a net.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and and having four of you playing doubles. If it's a quartet, you all playing doubles without a net. Damn, that's deep. If you think about it, that's really deep.
These are pearls, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
With it at night.
At night.
With a day glow ball.
With a day glow ball. There you go.
Without a net.
Without a net.
Big ass rackets.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
And so this is
way more exciting.
The school I'm talking about.
It's way more exciting.
Now, how many people in town can I get to play that way? So,
I think there are a lot of us where maybe you're scared a little bit. Because that's like playing scared.
See, and this is what I'm saying. Unless you present the possibility, unless you present the environment unless you present the opportunity for that to happen, it never happens.
It's never going to happen. That's right.
You dig? So that's what we're trying to do.
That's what Cafe Code is about.
That's more than just being a jazz club.
Yeah.
See.
I like the way you say that. Jazz club. Nice
So,
growl.
yeah.
Beautiful.
So I mean, in every aspect, we're going to try to offer more of an elevated experience, in what we're doing. You know, we're going to elevate the wine list from what it is now. We're going to elevate the cuisine from you know, I mean, it's going to be smaller. It's not a dinner place anymore like it was.
You're going to have tapas, right?
Tapas, yeah.
Which is very
I like to
jazzy.
think of it as soul tapas because I have, you know, Ellen Candace Flowers, who actually is the daughter of the great Rick Flowers, the percussionist, who is actually our chef, and going to be doing our tapas.
That's fantastic.
You know, soul tapas, man. You know, who'd have thunk it?
You thunk it.
You know, so,
He thunk it.
so you know, just the whole experience we hope will be different. Plus, we hope to bring in acts that you hear on the radio, WORT, and you know, maybe it's radio if you all have a jazz calendar. Every week we're talking about the same cats playing at the same place.
Gigs.
And in all respects, I've been in these places and some of these cats are playing the shit playing the thing the same way as they did, you know, and you know, to me, that's cool. Okay?
I don't know if you can see the sarcasm
cool.
or you can hear it on the radio.
It's cool.
It's cool.
We
It's a
cool.
living.
You cool.
It's
All right.
you know, I think one of the problems is that, you know, these kinds of gigs.
And what's really deep, I gotta tell you this.
Yeah.
What's really deep, a lot of times they're reading it.
Yeah.
So how many times?
You mean they're reading the
Absolutely. I mean.
the song as they're playing it? You mean?
The same week.
Yeah.
The same day of the week, same time, same tune, reading it.
Yeah, there used to be a show that I used to go to. You could tell what time it was by what song they were playing.
Okay, so like I said,
and it was, you know, like they were great and awesome, but it was like, okay, we heard this.
okay,
already.
so how do you
How do you change that?
yeah
You offer a place.
Well, we offer a place, but we also invite other cats to come in who are you know like doing some different things, kind of shake things up a little bit, and you give them the opportunity to play. You give, you know, the local cats an opportunity to play with the regional and the national cats, and you know, maybe stretch out a little bit, and then develop a little confidence that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to, you know, do something a little bit different or do a little different kind of way, and maybe it's okay for the audience to hear it, because you know everybody's got to, you know, acquire this, you know, this new kind of wing.
It's okay to mess up. It's okay to do something that you've never done before. I think that's part of it, is that people who have those weekly gigs or monthly gigs, they're getting paid, right? Week after week, and that's good. And so to break out of that is very scary, and because you don't know if people are going to accept something that is
you know,
beyond what they're used to hearing.
But see, that's cool. See, my point is, and I hate to be, you know, puristic in this, but if you're going to do that, you need to call it something different.
Well, yes,
Okay?
I agree. I
that's all
totally
I'm
agree.
saying.
It's not the same thing.
It's okay for you to do that. I admire people who can sight read like people do. I mean, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
You know, a fly could come and lay on the page and they'd read it. You know, as long if it's not on the line, they'd read it.
There's something to be said for being technically
for
proficient in that
You
way,
know,
but it gets to be boring, and for an
Well,
audience,
you know,
that's, you know,
let's just say that it's cool.
well,
And,
different.
You know, different.
Different.
And so we want to bring in people who are doing different kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, I might, kind of, people don't understand it until they see it and then they appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, like I got this friend named G-Rod. G-Rod George Hines. And he's the godfather of my oldest son. G-Rod and I have been friends for a long
Yeah.
time.
And what does he do?
G-Rod's like 6 foot
Oh my.
Well, he used to be nice about 6'2" because he's so old, but I'm only 5'7".
And what?
But no, I mean, and so G-Rod and I used to go on the road, and we had gigs in, kind of like college towns, some of the rural areas, G-Rod's a poet.
Uh-huh.
And so sometimes, we would, kind of do it a little bit different than, just, okay, now we're going to have the poet, Mr.
Right,
G-Rod.
right.
No, G-Rod, no one even knew he was really part of the group until he'd be sitting out in the audience or something, or he might come from behind the stage, in the middle of some really heavy stuff going on. Oh! And we got in a little trouble in a couple of places because G-Rod scared the hell out of us.
Well, yeah, we have to be careful.
But, it's like, I'm sorry, but, sometimes, and I've heard people say this about Coltrane performances, they liked it, but they didn't know why, or, it was like, it was a different kind of thing, and they didn't realize they enjoyed it until afterwards. It's like catharsis. It's like you go into a theater, and you get so involved with Star Wars, or whatever, Blazing Saddles, whatever.
You come out different.
That you come out and you don't realize you're surprised.
Yeah.
That it's dark outside.
Yeah.
You've had this stroke of catharsis that just makes you escape reality.
I remember going to see The Doors when it came out, the Doors movie when it came out, and actually felt high afterwards.
See?
Like, and I had not
That probably
smoked
didn't have
beforehand.
nothing to do with you.
No, I did not smoke beforehand. I went to the
No,
movie and came out of the movie and was like, whoa. I
Probably
promise.
a few people who came out.
I think so.
Yeah. So this cathartic idea, if you take that and put it into a club environment, okay?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So because before alcohol was even a part of this whole equation, when I first came to Madison, I had this master's in music therapy, and I really wanted to set up a sound spa. And I had this place called the House of Sounds at 951 Williamson Street. It's a little house. It's not Head Shop or something.
It's like right around the corner from my house. Wait a minute.
Fat Pinky, something like that.
Pig in a fur coat.
No, across the street.
Oh, okay.
Fat Pinky, little.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, it's pipes, whatever. Anyway.
That's a different kind of thing.
I was trying to start a sound spa.
I like that.
Like going to the barbershop or going to the masseuse.
Go and get some music.
You go in here and get musonic treatment. That's what we call it, musonic.
treatment.
You go and get a musonic treatment, and you come out and.
I like that.
Now, you know what? I contracted this service to the kids at the Wilmar Center.
Yeah.
They were bringing their kids over. Little badass kids. Especially those, because I love them.
Those kids are awesome.
The ones that they go, you little badass kids. Bring them over to the sound spa and get them musonized.
That sounds a little sketchy. Musonized.
Well,
Musonically treated.
Chaperones was feeling cool, too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Music is therapy. It's my therapy. Are you kidding me?
Therapy, see, this is the thing. Therapy is always after the fact.
Well,
if we're talking about something that is a preventive tool, and see, this is the thing. People who can afford to send their kids to school, to private lessons, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, we might not hear about them, doing stuff that might be considered kind of stupid. Or we do, but maybe not as much. Maybe because they have to practice. Maybe because.
But they're getting that music. They're getting it in
maybe
them.
that sound thing. Maybe that sound thing.
I agree.
See, so they shouldn't be. So kids who can't afford that should not be denied that opportunity.
Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. And you're going to have a student performance kind of thing at Cafe Coda, correct?
It depends on their behavior.
They but there are going to be different evenings, right? Different kinds of performances going on. Will there be like performances geared towards youth, having them come and play?
Well,
if they behave.
yeah, well, we were thinking that maybe on Saturday afternoon, when the daughter might want to go see the Lion King, but the brother might want to play his trumpet. Or maybe in the afternoon, we'll offer that opportunity. And actually, Stone, Stone, that young boy that was I've asked him to maybe come on board and
this kid was an amazing guitar player.
And moderate, and kind of steward that.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah. And so we're going to offer that opportunity to young people, of course. That's one thing that the jazz community traditionally has always provided. Some type of means, or I shouldn't say to involve kids, but to keep it in their lives and
not let it die out.
Not segregated because it's only a place, it's a place where kids shouldn't be.
Yeah, I think there's this bias with certain types of music against youth. They won't understand it. They're only like pop music. That's not
the
true.
Same thing they said about it's not that it's protection. It's protectionary in another kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what people said about rock and roll?
Yeah.
Boy, you know what white parents said about rock and roll back in the 50s. I was there. I know. Elvis Presley was not allowed to be shown on television from the waist down.
I know.
And people associated what he was doing with the African devil music of the South. And then, see, of course, then with the emergence of it having some commercial success, then all of a sudden
it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
So
yeah, we're good. White people are good at that.
Well, we all go through it. First you fear something. First you fear something that you don't understand. And then, if you feel like you can make a little money off of it, then it don't mean nothing if you're scared of it, as long as you can control it.
That's
you
a
still
good,
be
yes.
scared.
That's true.
If you can control it, That's why we got zoos, Jack.
I've been talking a lot in this podcast about the root of hatred is fear. And if you don't understand something, and fear and ignorance. If you don't understand something, it's very easy to be afraid of it.
Yeah.
Right? Once you can break it down or steal it. This is the case in music in a lot of cases.
Sure.
Once you can break it down and understand it, then it's not so scary, right? Then it's not so scary. Same thing goes with jazz. Once you can make it, I think once it's accessible to more people, and I think with Cafe Coda, it'll make it accessible in a much better kind of environment for listeners.
Accessible in a certain kind of way. And so this is the thing that I have to specify, because the third phase of the evolution of any musical art form is first they hate it.
Yeah.
Okay? Then they try to control it.
Yes.
And that's very successful, because that's the phase that it leaves the control of the artist. And then it is changed. Now, if you listen to rock and roll of the 1950s and compare with rock and roll of the 1980s, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay? First it was fear. Then it was taken commercially. Then it was changed. So, in order to keep it from being changed, there has to be some element of the traditional, the contemporary, and the creative that is maintained in that environment.
Yes.
Not that you dismiss the traditional for the contemporary or the creative, but you have to be inclusive of it in order for my 20-year-old kid to come into the world understanding the length and breadth of the experience and not just the tail end. Because if he understands the tail end without understanding the traditional and the contemporary experience of it, then he might think that it's something else other than what it is and have less power than what it has.
Yeah. Or that it's brand new and that it's never been around before.
Right, and the cat who's playing it today is the originator.
Is the originator.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing.
No.
Or I mean, this goes back to the lesson of history, right? If we don't know our history, what's going to happen? We're doomed to repeat it.
Well, we have to see, not to get too heavy.
Oh, let's get heavy. Go for it. This is SoulMama Says. You can get heavy.
You got this thing in the world now called cultural genocide.
Yeah.
Lots
of that going on.
Let's think about Cecil Rhodes and what he did. In South Africa. He changed Zimbabwe to Rhodesia.
Yeah.
And he could do that because he annihilated everybody there. And so when the next cats got there, they said, well, who are you? He said, I'm Cecil Rhodes, and this is Rhodesia, baby. Okay? And there was no one there
to tell him different.
To tell him any different.
Yeah.
So there's a cultural genocide that can easily become present in the absence of the real thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like I said, there's enough room for everybody, and there's enough room for, the Elvis Presley impersonator, There's enough room.
Next to the
next to the real deal.
Yeah,
right, there's enough room. But
there
let's not take one over the other or dismiss one for the convenience of having the other.
Absolutely, yeah. There's so many. Like some people just want to hear what the
got 1
record
minute.
sounds like. Okay, now we got 1 minute.
See, I got
all right.
the signal.
Well, we
now.
went nice and long on this last segment because we wanted to let you keep going. Almost. There's people out there who want to hear a live concert that's just like the record. I don't understand that, but there are people out there, just like there are people like you and me who want to hear something new and unique. That don't want to hear the same thing over and over again. So yeah, there's a room for all of it.
We're weird. We're not like
But see, I wear my badge of weirdness proudly. I am weird. Are you weird? Let me know. Call me next segment. 608-210-1667 here on MadisonTalkers.com. Thank you, Hana, so much. This Friday night, opening night, right? Okay, Cafe Coda at the Fountain. We're coming back at you in 5 or in a minute.
1 minute.
All right, thank you. I got a few things I want to talk about.
Okay.
But thank you for coming. Thank you for that. Thank you for the musical lesson.
Now where can I hear this?
So I will. It's online. I will. Here, let me give you.
Can I post it? And
Yeah. So here is the info. It's at this website, and you look for Carolynn Schwartz, and then you click on that, and it'll bring you to my blog. You look for today's date.
Good, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Thanks, man.
Oh, I could listen to him talk about music all day. That's why I came and did that thing with you at the Goodman Center, because I just wanted to sit there. Talk about music. Oh my, You blew my mind like every single time.
All right, I gotta go.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, Hannah had to go. So now it's just me flying solo. All right, here we go. Oh, shit. Oops. I'm going to move that. Let's try that again. All right. It's a good thing there wasn't any water in there. Hello. All right, let's see if I can figure this out, make this look better. Hey, I'm back. SoulMama here, flying solo for the last segment. And thank you all for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. That was Hannah John Taylor, who, if you don't know, is amazing. I mean, I could sit and listen to him talk about music all day. I think that's why I did that Saturdays at the Goodman Center with him last summer, because I just wanted to sit there and Okay, I'm just gonna listen and blow my mind every week about jazz and music and life and everything. And he just, I'm so excited for this new club to open. Friday night, I think, is the unofficial opening, and then there's going to be a grand open. I think it's the soft opening, they call it. There's going to be a grand opening in March, I think March 4th. I'm going to try and go this weekend because I won't be here March 4th. I'm going to be in Palm Springs with the in-laws in the desert, and I'm very happy about that because it's going to be a good time to get out of the cold, out of the damp, and into the desert, which is good. One thing that I wanted to talk about, and you're going to think I'm crazy, is very controversial. I'm going to say something very controversial. Okay, ready? Drum roll. I can't stand Lady Gaga. I think I'm one of the few people on the planet. Well, no, there's probably a lot of people on the planet who don't like her, but I'm sorry for all of you out there who love her. There's just always been this thing. I don't know why. It's like this weird. There's something about watching her that is like super calculated and choreographed. Like it looks like every move she makes, right? Lady Gaga, or as on Saturday Night Live. Did you guys watch Saturday Night Live on this Saturday night? It was so funny. I can't remember the name of the actor who does Big Papa, but he got Big Poppy, right? He goes, "Oh, Lady Haha." He called her Lady Haha, and that I just look at her and I laugh like I can't take her seriously until I watched the Super Bowl. Now, I don't watch the Super Bowl, actually. We don't have live TV, so I watched the performance. I watched her performance on YouTube, because I'm a total YouTuber now. And again, with the sparkly and the eyes and everything, I have a hard time taking her seriously. But when she started to sing, "This Land Is Your Land," I kind of went, is this her big political statement? Because they're always told explicitly, no big brouhaha, this is a happy thing. People want to come and watch this. They're going to drink and eat, and they don't want to see you make some big political statement. And for the most part, that's true. America wants, at this point in our lives, just wanted to sit down and watch a game. And then here comes Lady Gaga, and she sings, just a couple of lines out of "This Land Is Your Land." Now, here's the thing. Everybody thinks "This Land Is Your Land" is this great national American anthem, right? This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, right? Awesome. If you get down further into the lyrics, you get a little bit more, I don't know, protesty. Okay, this song was written by Woody Guthrie, one of the great American folk songwriters and protest songwriters. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said "No trespassing." But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. Okay? In the shadow of the steeple, I saw my people. By the relief office, I seen my people. As they stood there hungry, I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? Nobody gets to those stanzas when they sing this song at big events. They just sing, "This land is your land, this land," right? Because that's the fun part of the song. When you get deep in, and this is a lot like the Star Spangled Banner, when you get deep into the lyrics, you finally figure out what these authors were talking about. This is a protest song. This is a song, this was actually a response to "God Bless America." I just read about this, actually. He was, when Woody Guthrie wrote this, he was sick and tired of hearing "God Bless America" on the radio all the time. He was like, God didn't bless America. You know, that's what he was saying. That's what this song is saying. The original title of the song is "God Blessed America for You and Me," right? But it really says, no, it didn't. Did God really bless America for you and me? I don't think so. Not if you're a Muslim in this country. Not if you're a Jew. Not if you're an atheist, for God's sakes, like me. No, God did not bless this country for you and me. And so that's what makes people so angry when the president goes in his inauguration speech and mentions God like a gazillion times, especially considering how hypocritical it is, because he is the least God-fearing person probably or God-fearing, rather. He doesn't fear anybody, right? Isn't that how the word usually goes? God-fearing. It's not God-faring. It's actually God-fearing. Do you fear God? I'm sorry, but that's kind of a creepy thing. Do you fear God? God is supposed to be this all-loving, all-knowing, wonderful thing. Well, not if you're supposed to fear him. So that, anyway, this song that Lady Gaga just sang a little bit of is really this kind of dig in the side of so-called patriots who want to keep immigrants out, who want to keep, anybody that doesn't look like them out. And Lady Gaga, so I have a newfound respect for her. I'm still a little weirded out by her. When I watch her, I find her to be the least sexy person alive when she's trying to be sexy. Like, she's trying so hard to be sexy, and something about that just, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. I think it's also she's trying to be Madonna. You know, she's got the history. She's part Italian. She's raised Catholic. Was she raised Christian? I'm not sure. But she's also comes from a little bit more money. But they worked really hard. I learned a whole bunch about Lady Gaga this morning. But when I was prepping for this, she just, you know, I don't know. She kind of astounded me when she did that. And apparently she's the first person to sing the words lesbian, bisexual, gay, trans, any of that stuff on live television for the Super Bowl, because it's all part of her song Born This Way. So that's pretty impressive. Someone that can use their enormous fame. I mean, we're talking global, worldwide, universal. If there are aliens out there, they know who Lady Gaga is, I promise. Or maybe they call her Lady Haha. I don't know. But I guarantee you they know who she is, because she has made sure of that. People like her that can use their fame for the good of the world, to benefit the world by promoting good messages like I was born this way, that's a beautiful thing. So I gotta give it up to her for that. So yay, Lady Gaga. Okay, I still think you're weird, and the meat dress was just, ugh. But you know, I get it. You were trying to get yourself out there, and you know, more power to you. I couldn't do it. I'd want to maybe eat the meat dress because I'm a hungry girl, but no thanks. Anyone else out there want to tell me about their feelings about Lady Gaga, or how you came around? Oh, we got 3 minutes left. Okay, about how maybe you came around on something, because for me, that the lyrics are important to songs. The words are important. One quick thing that I want to mention is that the resistance is working. Don't give up. Okay, I know it's been a rough couple weeks since the Trump administration took over, or rather, should I say, the Bannon administration took over, because I don't know if you saw this, but I posted on my Facebook page the article where there was a paragraph that said Trump was a little annoyed that he hadn't been briefed on the executive order putting Steve Bannon on the National Security Council, which means he didn't really know that he was doing that. So that's kind of scary. But the good thing is the resistance is working. There is a whole article about all the things that have been done, or that have not been done, I should say, that have not been able to accomplish, that the Trump team would not be able to accomplish because of the resistance. The halting of this travel ban, and it is a ban, regardless of what Sean Spicer says, it is a ban. Your own president said so. It has been stopped for right now, and that is an amazing thing. What else has happened? There's the VA was granted an exemption from Trump's hiring freeze. The Trump administration abandoned a plan to cancel Affordable Care Act enrollment advertising. The House Republicans abandoned a plan to gut the Congressional Ethics Office. 500,000 green card holders were granted exemption from Trump's immigration ban. The Department of Defense has secured permission to grant exemptions to the ban for Iraqis who work for the U.S. military. Most dual citizens seem to get exemptions. A House Republican plan for massive sell-off of public lands has been canceled. And I'm not sure if the Betsy DeVos vote has happened yet, but for the last 24 hours, the Democrats finally found a pussy. And I will not say they grew some balls, because balls are delicate and can be squashed, right? Pussies are strong and they bite back. And CNN and the Democrats have finally found theirs. And I'm really, really happy about that, because that means maybe we can finally get some stuff done that makes sense in this country. All right. This is SoulMama. We had a really good time talking to Hannah John Taylor today. If you can, go Friday to Cafe Coda. It's at the Fountain on State Street. It's going to be a great show. Soft opening this Friday night. And otherwise, love to you all. I hope you learned something today. And I hope you will hug someone today because that's important. We all need hugs. Okay? Love to you all. Bye. I'm out.